I know what I do. We hop right into it. No time to talk or waste. Let's get it. Oh.
No one asked you. It makes managing business travel.
Okay.
The horror began in June 1984. Los Angeles was under siege. Death waited in the dark at the hands of a man they called the Night Stalker. After a 14-month reign of terror, he was finally caught. It was only then that his true identity was discovered. His name, Richard Ramirez.
Richard Ramirez's whole trip was...
You know what? I'm going to start doing like videos like this too, because I'm really fascinated in this kind of stuff. Richard Ramirez. I've heard the name before. I think, yeah, there's a Netflix. I see that there's a Netflix video about him. I'm going to watch it. I'm interested in who he was.
To hide in a tree or hide behind a fence and watch his victims at nighttime.
Oh, man.
And wait into the wee hours of the night. And then, while they slept, creep in, you know, like a coward, and kill them.
The Night Stalker...
You ain't no coward if you kill people, man. You ain't no coward unalive. You got to say unalive, but you ain't no coward if you unalive people. You won't put it like that, but... Watching them up in a tree until they, like, see, this is why, man, I'm telling you, that's why dogs, weapons, cameras, all kind of stuff, you need those things to protect yourself because of people like this, and people that think like that you're not ready for, and they may one day surprise you. Surprise! That would suck. Oh, man. Yeah.
Killed at least 13 times, 13 people who were awakened in the night to face death. At least 15 others survived his brutal attacks.
I didn't particularly care for people.
In a rare interview, Ramirez refused to discuss his own...
The funny thing is, he's a handsome guy, too. Like, he's a handsome guy. Man.
...own crimes, but had this to say about serial killers.
A serial killer comes about by circumstances and like a recipe, poverty, drugs, child abuse. These things, you know, contribute to a person, to a person's frustration and anger, and at some point in life, he explodes.
Perhaps for
he literally just explained how a serial killer is made. Maybe like hopefully like when people study this stuff, we understand it that poverty, bad parents, things like that cause. It's no excuse. No one should be out doing anything to anybody, but definitely maybe we can find a way to make society better to where we don't create people like this. Because I do think these people aren't born, they're made. However, though, psychopaths, they do say are born. But the majority of psychopaths in society don't harm anything. Like, from the statistics, the data, like 90% of them don't harm anybody. 99, I think it's like 95, somewhere between 95 and 99% of them don't harm anybody. But the majority of psychopaths are in prison. Not majority. I'm sorry. The majority of people who are in prison are psychopaths. Sorry, I'm going to retract that. Sorry. The majority of people who are in prison are psychopaths, which proves that there can be a danger within them. So, but if we can just isolate like what is a psychopath compared to a person who grows up with a terrible childhood, creating them into a sociopath, turning them into a sociopath or a narcissist, then more sociopathic. But maybe we can like kind of negate these people from actually existing. Yeah.
Richard Ramirez, that anger and frustration turned to rage, which he in turn took out on his victims. His killings were so sadistic and brutal that even experienced detectives were shocked.
Well, he took a woman in her 60s and stomped her to death with his foot, leaving an imprint of a shoe on the side of her face. From that to just executing somebody upon walking into a room after he entered a house. He strangled, he used a ligature, he used a tire iron on a young girl.
Oh, man.
Beat her, left her for dead.
When your anger subsided, you had
that was brutal. Woo.
To wipe up your mother's blood. I couldn't finish it. I had to leave my brother to finish that chore.
Why on earth would you have hurt those people? Why did you kill those people?
No comments. No comments. I cannot answer that at this time.
What was Richard's motive?
He looked like he was excited to even talk about it, man. That's weird. That's weird.
To kill.
That's it?
To kill. It's as simple as that.
Richard Ramirez was raised in El Paso, Texas, the youngest of 5 children born to hardworking, strict parents. Eddie Milam was Richard's best friend back then and remembers when he began to change into a troublemaker.
I did start seeing something going wrong with Ricky Ramirez. I think what really messed him up was the acid. He would do a lot of acid. The stealing, I noticed the stealing, and then started at the peeping Tom and things like that.
Ramirez's passion,
I wonder if a combination of drugs and childhood caused him to be the way he is.
For burglary earned him the nicknames of Ricky the Thief and Fingers. But Eddie knew Ramirez had other serious problems when he was fired from a local hotel.
He said he was fired, he was dismissed due to the cause that he had tried to molest 2 little kids that were going up the elevator.
Oh! Disturbing. I don't know. When kids get involved, they start making me yeah, man. I don't know about that.
By 18, Ramirez was a high school dropout, drifting around California. He stayed in Skid Row hotels, never seemed to work, but always had the money to buy cocaine. Friends say the Richard Ramirez they knew didn't date and wasn't the type to commit such heinous crimes. But convicted murderer Martin Kipp, who befriended Ramirez in prison, says he heard another side of the night.
Richard told me he needed to associate gruesome violence with sex in order to be completely satisfied. He also told me that he had to violently fantasize about his victims before he could go away sexually gratified.
I wonder for him to come out and say that, how much they paid him, or not even paid him. I'm sorry, how much time off his sentence they gave him. I wonder, because that's weird. I came to tell you that, I came to confide in you. You run out and tell all my business like that. That's crazy.
Desires, whereas if I didn't give in to them, I would be crushed by them. I believe in the evil in human nature. This is a wicked world, and in a wicked world, wicked people are born. I'm not going to blame society, my race, or people, or anything. It is up to the individual like myself to keep on knocking on whatever door they want to get into.
Because the victims and
crazy is how he sounds extremely intelligent too. That's the crazy part about some of these people, man. You can't predict it. What the hell? He understood what he was doing. I wonder, honestly, did he get the death penalty?
the methods of killing were so diverse, many experts felt there was no one Night Stalker. Detectives Carrillo and Salerno disagreed and finally broke the case by matching shoe prints. The subsequent trial turned into one of America's most notorious courtroom dramas, punctuated by continual outbursts from Ramirez. In that trial, Ramirez's fascination with Satanism emerged.
As far as Satan is concerned, I believe in a malevolent being. His description eludes me, but I have felt powers that are evil.
After an 8-month trial, Ramirez was convicted of all 13 murders and given multiple death sentences.
I don't care about myself, really. I don't care about what happens to me. I never did, really.
Ramirez, hold on. Ramirez died in June 2013 of compliance to B-cell. He was 53 years old. He had been on death row for more than 23 years. So he spent 23 years on death row. Wow. Interesting, man. Like that's real interesting. You know, like I heard that executing somebody is a lot more expensive than actually putting them in prison for life, because I think like there's like the appeal process, that's a consistency. There's no way he was ever getting out, but I mean he got to live out the rest of his life. Even if it was in prison, he still got 3 meals a day. He was taken real good care of. I don't think that was fair compared to what his victims had to face, but you know, hey, that's life. All right, y'all, peace.